A rivalry that defines the sport of lacrosse. The two winningest overall series, one that dates back to 1921. Mason Cone wins the opening faceoff, and Syracuse goes to work on.
Freshman for Milliman, he was the starter up in Ithaca.
Finn Thompson defended by Juronski. Feet in front, behind the back shot, and Muley, the grad transfer from Lehigh.
In his 5th year, the grad transfer from Lehigh. You could play him outside as a feeder, but inside. Two guys with Mason Cone and Johnny Mullins, the spectacular freshman.
Spallina now the nation's leading scorer. Outside hammer by Roa, and so the only losses in overtime, one to Maryland, one to Army. Johns Hopkins, lone loss in the opener to Denver. Bounce shot by Roa, flag down as he up top to Degnan. It's back to Grimes, trying to get to that left hand. Shot and a score, and Johns Hopkins with its first freshman, Jimmy Ayers. They think he's got a chance to be a special one at home.
Turned on the tape, and you know why. He is a spark plug, an incredible dodger, but showing you some creativity inside.
Burt Whistle was the big man-up sniper last year. Hiltz shoots. Erlin got his in the first-round win against Bryant last year. Former Marquette Golden Eagle. Now Collison down the alley. Mark's
going to have to be pass. I don't think that there's going to be a ton of the initial pass off the dodge open.
Spallina using the pick and finds the back of the net. Joey Spallina with his 22nd goal of the season to match his number.
He also knows how to play the pick game. Hopkins ties it up with wanted to be a Syracuse or a Hopkins lacrosse player. For me, it was Syracuse. From her younger brother Brian, he wanted to be like Quint Kesnick.
Syracuse, that's 2 straight for the Orange.
Hiltz comes to the party and he's involved. This offense clicks to another level. It's in. You feel like they're close, but close isn't good enough, right? You need validation.
Grimes moves it over from the wing. It is Degnan. 37 straight games with a goal for Garrett Degnan.
Played at Johns Hopkins. Garrett Degnan, with his feet set, is darn right scary.
And through 6 games, clearing at 93%, and they've done it against a heavyweight schedule. Now in transition, Deans all the way. Mark with the save, or a ball that hits the pipe that is recovered by the shooting team. Shot clock resets to 60. Here's Collison, big left hand. Mark stops this one. Fence. Here comes Melendez. Been a quiet start to the season to Peter Milliman. Not concerned, he said Russell Melendez hasn't been forcing it. Here comes Hunter Chevette, and he ties the game. Chevette opened his Hopkins career as a freshman with back-to-back hat tricks.
And get these opportunities on short sticks, not dodging them, Anish, but actually shoot.
Grimes the skip, Degnan the hammer.
If you're 33 and white, you don't show that much inside when you have maybe the best.
When you're down a man. Melendez over to Degnan. Chevette spins it back to Angelis, now operating from X. Chevette high to low, Mark. And it's Juronski off the ground. Unsettled chance for the Blue Jays. Bauer. Turbos. One more. Degnan. Doorstep saved by.
Same as everyone else.
One of the great goal scorers in the history of Hopkins Lacrosse. Coming off back-to-back 40-goal seasons. Bounce shot. That one misses. Part of maybe the best rope unit in all of college lacrosse. English. About a second differential. Game clock and shot clock. Melendez on the run. Degnan looking for his 3rd. I was talking to him yesterday, and Jake Stevens and Joey Spallina were standing by and they were laughing. They couldn't believe it. Here comes Finn Thompson. Over to Hiltz. Low to high. Early.
If there's a playoff potential run.
Good ball movement. Hiltz missed the cage. Time to shoot. Here comes Muley. There's that well-timed slide. Zulik that time came over. Got an open man right on the crease. Joey Spallina tying the game at 4.
Guy that pulls it out and tells everyone in the stadium he's dodging. He's so good off ball. understands passers around him.
There's Jackson Birtwistle. Row up, spinning around. Dusting Jaronski, finding new. Make it, take it, Lacrosse.
Luke Rowe is the Dodger. The support, look at all the eyes of the Hopkins defense. They're all upfield. Here from Lehigh. And Johnny on the spot tonight with 2 beautiful goals.
Here comes Hiltz, 3 in a row. They're scoring, they're winning faceoffs.
They're taking on Syracuse that's getting these step downs. It's Owen Hiltz, 77, can make jumps.
Matt Wright, the UNC transfer, former All-American a few years ago, was on Degnan. Here's Collison. Puts one on Cage. This guy's a freshman last year. Scored 20.
He's a Canadian from Ontario. He's 6'4", 225. He kind of has an old school American.
Hopkins. Cohn's going to set the pick. Spallina uses it. Now Callahan runs off. Spallina. Zulik. Spallina. That inside roll wasn't there. Triple teamed. That means somebody's open. Flag down. Hiltz, crease feed. Stevens dunk.
There's something very subtle. The crease in that location, not stepping in. And there's the through pass extraordinaire once again. 2 players from up top are dodging with the intent to pass.
Spallina, feet in front, push from the back, and the orange sideline juiced.
And Christian Muley with his 3rd of the game. He's been so strong.
His leading scorer, Peshko, quiet after a 4-goal outing at Klockner last week. Bowers got some shake. Park City, Utah cashes in.
And on a wet field, finding his footing has been tough. Not this time, though. You see the
Trujillo driving Degnan to his right hand. Degnan spins him around. 8-7, a hat trick for Garrett Degnan.
So he gets into the body, but this is a sweet move. Thinking that he's going upfield potentially to pass or shoot, gets the D.
He was overemphasizing
lefty.
Because of renovations to the dome, a front-loaded schedule. They're
They
going to
went
be on the
7
road
straight.
the rest of the way.
They're going to be.
This is the first time Syracuse has played outside of Central New York. Erlin
Can beat his man. He can own a matchup.
He started on attack in the fall. And Ayers ties the game with the outside half. 8 up in the Queen City.
It's a daunting task. Who are you going to replace? Whose minutes are you going to take? Jimmy Ayers doesn't care.
Away. Penalty coming on Hopkins. Spallina will reset. He's got a short stick matchup he wants to clear out. Feed on the doorstep. Another goal for them. And that ends a 3-0 run by Johns Hopkins.
The Orange does a remarkable job in terms of keeping possession. Sweats.
They were in the South now. Hopkins. Looks like they're in a zone.
Hiltz is a zone buster. Rowe is a zone buster. Is a zone buster. Shooters. This is big for Finn.
Switch. Back to X. Spallina against Zulik. 4 to shoot. 3 to shoot. 2 to shoot. Leo behind the back. Does it count? It does. Michael Leo, Sports Center.
There's no replay in Charlotte. This backhand shot is counting. And he puts a lot into that one. During that span of timing, right, where...
And a highlight-worthy behind-the-back goal with the shot clock expiring late in the 3rd. Here comes English down the alley. And he beats Erlin over. The Syracuse has its largest lead of the game, 12-8.
And then the ability to get this back. Continuing upfield as much as he can. Midfielders.
That allows Gary Gate the flexibility to play them 2 ways. Here comes Roa all the way. Big save.
Syracuse offensive player who's the stretch shooter that can solve it.
Peshko against Rice. Jaronski, nice dodge. Bounce shot, score. 5th career goal for Hunter.
I think of this Hopkins team, and your initial attention goes to the coming from his uniform or his stick.
Maybe some tape. Degnan, left hand free, bounce shot, score. His 4th of the game.
Angeles with the head up. He sees the soft spot in the Syracuse.
Earlier, he ties Reardon and Brown for most consecutive games with a goal at Johns Hopkins. Here comes Stevens, right off the face-off with the answer for the Orange.
Someone who could scrap on defense, who could score in tight, who could gobble up a ground ball.
4-3 at halftime. Great ground ball play. Kilrain, the freshman, inside the Bauer, the long pole. We're trading haymakers.
As a lockdown close defender, put him on a wing and let him deal. What a whistle.
Here's Stevens. He's been on one. Jake Stevens.
He's taken over to Stevens. Both played for John Posner.
It's their first game this season away from home. Hopkins playing the 3rd of 3 straight ACC opponents. They banked wins against UNC and Virginia. Erlin with the save. Kilrain, the freshman, giddying up. Back to Jaronski, bouncer, Mark out
to the rack.
Yeah, he gave it up. Can they find Degnan, who's taken a team-high 13 shots, 4 goals, 7 on cage? They do, and that is number 5, 6th-year senior and the 2-time captain, Garrett Degnan.
You have to press out and defend him differently. When he's adjacent, slough to him, show more when they flash.
Big extra man opportunity for the Blue Jays. Looking to close to within 1. And they do! Collison, who had the 4 goals.
The ball's spinning. And look who's behind, making the pass. He's such a big target. And
Alexo throws it into the 2024. They get a win that puts a shining star on their resume come selections.
they can make a run at a national championship.